1,000 video podcasts. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. This is the 1,000th episode, and it kind of snuck up on me. It's been a while. So, this is counting from when I first started Brian J. Pombo Live, but that isn't where it all started. So initially, I had started doing YouTube videos, and I still have a handful out there from the first couple years, and that started in, I believe it's July of 2015. Okay, following that, I ended up with I had spent a lot of time editing videos and everything else, but I didn't really have a direction. I didn't have it tied to my business or anything else. It was more experimenting with YouTube, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, playing around by interviewing other YouTubers and so forth and seeing how that affected it. You can see how I was completely messing around with genres and everything just in those handful of videos that came out. It was just me kind of playing around. I had a lot of people that I looked up to in the world of YouTube, and I wanted to see how they did it and kind of have a perspective, and I did. And it's a lot of hard work if you're going to put out quality content, which I'm not saying that I did. I'm saying that if you're going to achieve going anywhere near that, it takes a lot of work and a lot of dedication. So I knew it was going to be a while before I could really do that to the full extent of how I wanted to do it, just because life became more hectic. You know, after 2015, more kids, everything else, it just snowballed. So it's one of those things that's kind of how it works. And I fell into audio podcasting, doing the Off the Grid Biz podcast, and that was a lot of fun. And within the first month or two of doing that, I realized that I wanted to have something that was completely different from that, but still played into my business. And even the direction of my business has changed so much since that very first episode of Brian J. Pombo Live in 2019, May of 2019. Everything has changed. Everything and nothing. I mean, really, I'm doing the same things. I refer to a lot of the things that I do differently, because it's a lot clearer to say that I'm a business investor than it is to go into the end of being a strategist. That was confusing people, and when I really stepped back and looked at what I did, it really was more business investing, and it's something that I've really had a lot of fun with. And you can see the progression if you went and watched or listened to these podcasts all through the years. You would see the progression, and you would say, this is very different than how it started. But in the same sense, I had the book partway through. I had started doing interviews with people, which I'm still doing. We'll have more coming out in the future, and it's one of those things where it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. And it's been a wild ride. I've been happy for those of you who have stuck around with it. Love to see what you think about where we've been, where we've come, and where we're going. What would you like to see more or less of? Love to find out. Leave a comment wherever you're watching this. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going with it, and I'll talk more about where I was in the beginning versus where I am now in terms of where I see it going and what has been the best advantages to having a video/audio podcast that is relatively unedited. I throw things out a lot more nowadays for quick edits, but for the most part, it's just a day-by-day thing. And it's been a wild ride. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you on the next episode. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.